community celebration. My name is Max, and it is my pleasure to welcome you. Elders Wisdom Children's Song incorporates the tools of community organizing, education, and celebration through storytelling and song and spoken words.
Hello, my name is Kalani. At its heart, Elders Wisdom Children's Song is an educational process that combines oral history, songwriting, and poetry. Created by songwriter and SLP graduate Larry Long, Elders Wisdom Children's Song has been sharing and archiving the life stories of community elders for over 30 years. Tonight we are excited to honor three very special members of our SLP community. They came to our school to told their story, answered our questions, and shared words of wisdom with us.
What we learned about each other to write a song and create a book about each of them. In doing this project, we really stretched our thinking muscles. We were able to use our talents in many ways, such as creating melodies, writing and modifying verses, singing, and playing instruments.
Throughout the process, we listened to each other and were open to others' perspective. We worked together in our music and talent development classes to make this happen, and now we are excited to share it.
Please join me in welcoming our first elder, Miss Georgette Johnson. Miss Johnson was born in Gary, Indiana, to the Clark family. She went to Patrick Douglas Elementary School and Theodore Roosevelt High School. After leaving Indiana, Miss Johnson moved to Minnesota, where she had earned her associate's degree and began her work in education. Please welcome Miss Georgette Johnson.
Our next elder is Mr. Peter Redmond. Mr. Redmond was born in Chicago, Illinois. He experienced Jim Crow and the laws of the South at a very young age. Later, he attended the HBCU Langston University in Oklahoma, which is a historical black college and university. Mr. Redmond then went on to spend 38 years in education, ending his teaching career right here in St. Louis Park. Please welcome Mr. Peter Redmond.
Our third elder is Miss Saxena. Miss Ela was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She was the first in her family to be born in this country. The rest of her immediate family came to the U.S. under the Immigration Act of 1965 and became citizens, living in a small suburb of Milwaukee where her family was the only family who looked like them in the whole city. Left Miss Ela with many thoughts about belonging and fitting in. Now Miss Ela eventually found her way to St. Louis Park, where she is currently working in the district office. Please welcome Miss Ela Saxena.
The land upon which the buildings of St. Louis Park schools occupied are ancestral homes of Dakota. We need to protect and honor the history and the people of these places.
We are gathered on the land of the Dakota and Ojibwe peoples. I ask you to join me in acknowledging the Dakota and Ojibwe community, their elders, both past and present, as well as the future generations.
Settlers Park Public Schools also acknowledges that it was founded upon exclusions and erasures of many indigenous peoples, including those on whose land this school district is located. This acknowledgement demonstrates a commitment to dismantling the ongoing legacies of colonial power and the district's desire to support the ongoing work of local indigenous communities to thrive in our schools.
Please welcome the students of Miss Jones' 4th grade class honoring Miss Georgette Johnson.
My name is Georgette Johnson. My story starts with where I was born in Gary, Indiana. My parents were Einstein and Georgia Clark. I'm the second child of 6. I was raised by my mother and father, but I was raised by people in my community.
The people in our community made sure children were taught, taken care of. They saw you if they saw you outside of your home doing something you had no business doing, or if you were doing something really good, they would let people know, and sometimes they would let you know right then. So it was a community.
We lived in a lot of different houses, but we only lived in one community, Midtown. Then Gary was set up based on race. Black people lived in the Midtown community, and I thought all the other communities were white people. Those were the only two.
All the black people living in the same area helped us grow as a group of people. When people needed help, everybody pitched in. They would not let anybody go without food or clothes or even a place to stay.
We were taught in my family, and I think in a lot of other families, that sisters and brothers did not fight each other. We had to protect each other. The first time I ever saw my grandfather get upset was because my brother and my 2 uncles got into a really bad argument. My grandfather said, "You're being raised like brothers and you're going to act like brothers. No more fighting."
One of the things I think is interesting and different is when you live in Gray and you meet a person, they don't ask you where do you live. They say, "Who's your family? What's your family name?" That's because family was a big deal when I was growing up. So I would say my family is the Clark family.
Because the community was all black, we had our own black doctors, black pharmacists, black people owned restaurants and stores and dry cleaners. That was all in our community. We got a chance to go downtown, and we got a chance to go, to other places in state, and maybe Chicago. But just that, community is where we spent most of our time.
I had a lot of relatives
great-grandparents, grandparents, my parents, George and Ernestine Clark, brothers and sisters, uncles, aunts, and cousins. There were a bunch. I saw your eyes get really big. My mother was our Brownie Troop leader, and my father was my brother's Cub Scout leader. Those were proud moments for me.
I went to Frederick Douglass Elementary and Theodore Roosevelt High School. They were in black community. All the staff was black, all students, black principals, black custodians. Everybody we had a lot of pride in our school. We took great care of school inside and outside.
We were proud of our school, but also our teachers. What they had to do is they had to teach us, basically on their own. We used to get materials from white schools that were old. None of them were brand new. That happened for many, many years. I credit them because there were so many things that we learned that were not in the books because we didn't have them.
I talk about the city and the division. Where I live, people try to be discreet about not wanting to integrate, not wanting to be a part of other groups. I made it like you. Kind of wish you had somewhere else to go, but you didn't.
Now, this is what I call the beginning of the end of a city. We voted and hired our first black mayor, and all of the businesses moved out of the city. The white people decided they were not living here anymore, and they moved. Business closed, and there went my job at the Continental National Bank.
So I started over. Part of my starting over was to move to Minnesota. I earned an associate's degree, worked for a merit prize, and started tutoring where, you guessed it, at Peter Hobart. Then there was an opening for an instructional assistant, so that's what I'm doing right now, and I love it.
I like that my family, after we ate or danced, we will always play games. And the funny thing is my mom always won because she always cheated. And at pool too, we didn't care. We were busy too laughing.
Words of wisdom. Let your smile change the world, but don't let the world change your smile. There is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. And my favorite quote of all, we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be?
Miss Jones' class. Mr. Portrait's class may now come to the stage to honor Mr. Peter Redmond.
My name is Peter Redmond. I was born in 1952 in Chicago. Chicago is right down the road here, a few miles. It's a big city. There are more people in Chicago, in the city of Chicago, than in the whole state of Minnesota.
My mother was born in Montgomery, Alabama. When I was your age, she used to send us to our grandmother. So what she would do is take us to the train station. We would get on the train to Chicago. We would wave goodbye to my mom, then we would ride the train. She was waiting for us right there in Montgomery, Alabama.
9 years old, exactly the age I was when I experienced Jim Crow. Those who were in the laws in South to say that I couldn't sit down in a restaurant to eat with a white person. I couldn't even eat with your principal. We had to use different water fountains. We had to use different restrooms.
As a child, I saw it, I experienced it, but it didn't affect me until later, until I got older when we got to the train station in Alabama. We waited in a colored waiting room. There was another woman, a strong black woman, that raised me also, and that was my Aunt Clara. She can still remember things.
All that she went through, all that she experienced in Montgomery, Alabama. Her legacy is that she never taught us to hate as a kid. I didn't quite get it, but as an adult, I do get it now. Martin Luther King said it also. He said, hate is as injurious to the hater as it is to the hated. Even when the Ku Klux Klan stopped them from leaving their church and they had to stay there overnight, she said, don't hate.
I went to a historical black college and a university, HBCU. I went to Langston University in Oklahoma, and I was about 97% black. My mother constantly said, finish college, and sure enough I did. I became a teacher.
When I went to my first high school, I asked for a job. The principal hired me, but the one thing he said was, you're going to be the only black African-American teacher here. Is that okay with you? I said, yes, that's fine because I wanted to teach.
Did I have issues with other people there? Maybe, but what I did to make sure that people respected me was to do hard work. That's the one thing you can do to make people to be quiet. I coached our debate team. I make sure that I worked real hard, and again, I won a state championship. I won 3 of them. I was the only African American adult in that building, so that made everybody respect me.
I spent 38 years as a teacher, and I have to say I really, really liked it. I liked it for a lot of different reasons because of the human beings, because of the people. That's the most important part, not the subject matter, not the fact that we talked about Jim Crow. We talked about a lot of things, but it was the people that were sitting right in front of me, just like you guys.
In 1968, I met some guys playing basketball, and I still know them. That's a big deal. It makes me feel good that I'm still in touch with friends and is one of my accomplishments. I was in 2 different school districts, and I feel very, very blessed that I was nominated for Teacher of the Year in both districts. I didn't win it, but I was still very pleased and very fortunate. and very grateful that someone thought enough of me to actually nominate me for Teacher of the Year.
I attribute my ability to succeed my work ethic. I adopted this mantra as a conduct to my achieving my success. And I did for 38 years. Arrive early, leave late. And the same thing happened to my 101-year-old aunt taught me. I pass on to you. Hatred is as injurious to the hater as it is to the hated. I'm okay.
Thank you, Miss Poitras's class. Miss Wetzel's class may now come to the stage honoring Miss Saxena.
My name is Saxena. My story really starts with me being a teacher because that's what I've been doing for more than half of my life. I taught at Peter Hobart and Susan Lingren and then became the IB coordinator.
I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I was first in my family to be born in this country. My dad came after the Immigration Act of 1965. My mother and older sister stayed back in this country called India. That's where my family really comes from.
My dad went to college in India and then came to Wisconsin to get a master's degree and a PhD from the University of Wisconsin. Somewhere in that time, my mother and my sister came too. The rules of the Immigration Act in 1965 allowed them to come too. At other times in our country's history, there have been lots of rules that either forced people to come here or limited the choice about when people come.
I grew up in a pretty small suburb of Milwaukee, and our family was the only family that looked like us in the whole city. That had a lot of feelings for me. I had a lot of thoughts about that. I didn't have words to talk about how I looked different from other people.
I wasn't black, I wasn't white. I was kind of like somewhere in the middle. But what is the middle really? My whole childhood was me thinking and developing shyness. I just wanted to watch the world because the people hearing from around me around the world weren't always friendly, kind, or accepting.
I didn't look the same as everybody else, so I kind of felt like people were looking at me. I kind of felt like I didn't really fit in, so it took me a while to really make friends, like real friends. The kind that holds your heart and loves you just the way you are.
When I was 7 or 8, my dad gave up his citizenship to India to become a United States citizen, and then my older sister became a United States citizen too. She had to take a test, and she had to be asked questions, and she had to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. She had to prove that she wanted to be a part of this country.
I remember thinking, what does it mean to be American? What is it really all about? I started thinking about how do I fit in and where do I belong? And what choices am I making every single day that either hide me from the world or allow me to be who I am?
When I came here to St. Louis Park Schools, I was the only one that looked like me. It kind of felt like I was 4 years old again in kindergarten class. So my story is a lot about what I'm thinking in my own head. Who am I? How do I fit? Where do I belong? Where do I feel safe and welcomed and cared for?
People would ask me if I miss being in front of students. And yes, I did. I do. I believe that every one of you has the power to do great things. I believe that those feelings that I had about not fitting in and not belonging and not true of who I could be, you all wrestle around with that and you're going to make a better world for us.
Gandhi said you need to be the change that you wish to see in the world. And that's what I look at when I look at you. I have a great belief in you for you. To make your own story a story that lets you be who you are, whoever that might be.
You are in charge of your own story. Create it in any way that is meaningful to you. Believing in yourself is sometimes hard, and when that happens, find others who believe in you. Be safe, caring, and do the things you're meant to do. A true friend accepts you as you are and helps you be your best self. You don't have to be friends with everyone, although it often helps to be friendly. Also, being friendly is a great way to begin knowing someone new. Friendships drop in and out of our lives, like for different reasons and in different seasons.
future. It can be anything you want to be. Can make the world better together with the gifts that we bring. Because love is an offer, we'll have to be safe to sing. Together, here now, we are together. Here right now. Together, here now, we are together. Here right now. Thank you, Miss Ela. We love you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Together, here now. We are together. Here right now. Together, here now. We are together. Here right now. Together, here now. We are together. Here right now. Together, here now. We are together. Here right now. Together, here now. We are together. Here right now.
This celebration is the culmination of a project that taught us about history, songwriting, collaboration, and so much more. Miss Johnson, Mr. Redmond, Mr. Ela, we are so grateful to all of you for your willingness to share your stories with us. We learned a lot from you.
Hopefully, we will heed your words of wisdom as we grow up. You taught us that we are in charge of our life story and to create a way that is meaningful. In a way that is meaningful. And there is a voice that doesn't use words and that we should listen. And when asked, who are you to be brilliant, gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous? The answer is, actually, who are you not to be?
That hatred is an injurious to the hater as it is to the hated. That believing in yourself is sometimes hard, and when that happens, others will believe in you. And to be safe, caring, and do the things you're meant to do.
I love you guys. Right? Right? Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Georgette Johnson. Mr. Peter Redmond. Miss Ela Saxena. And of course, our 4th grade students. Okay. This was amazing. There are some people, seriously, that I really need to thank. So give it up for our amazing musicians, Cam Muata, Carla Siguenza, Amanda White, Chris Weaver, Joe Davis, Devo, Miss Julia McBride Biddy. Thank you so much to our principal, our building leadership team and office team, Carrie Schwiedering, Chris Weaver, Ann Lalonde, Thomas Odermatt, Deborah Carlson, Connie Ryerson, Brian Massey, Maria Reyes, and our wonderful custodians for this awesome setup, Jack and Tim. Thank you so very, very much. And Mr. Lowe. Where is he? Sorry, Luke. Mr. Patrick Duffy, our Superintendent Osai, Reverend Anthony Galloway, and our very, very, very special friend, where are you? Mr. Anthony, Mr. Larry Long. Carrie.
I'll be brief. I just appreciate everybody coming here, and especially it's been so many years since we've all been together. Enjoy the air conditioning, do we not? Quick plug for the referendum coming up, because that's why we're all enjoying it, so thank you. But really, thank you, fourth grade, and thank you to our fabulous musicians. And I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you, Larry. This is the first time that we've been able to do this here at Peter Hobart. And I know it's something that we will continue. Thank you, Dr. Duffy, for bringing this to us as part of our new talent development and our strategic plan moving forward. I just appreciate the vision of our superintendent, Superintendent Osai. So thank you all. But I need to also, with the talent development, is a new class, because we believe that all of our students have brilliance. Our talent development for 3rd through 5th grade. We also have our talent development K through 2 here tonight. But 3rd through 5th grade, part of this is with Renee Robinson and the brilliance of her leading this group. So thank you, Renee. And I will pass it on to Larry.
So, stay standing. This is for you, Carrie Schwiedering, the principal. I want to give you, I went to the flower shop in my neighborhood, and I wanted to give flowers to everybody, but there wasn't enough flowers to buy. So these roses are for your school, and you're a recipient of it, and I can't thank you enough for opening your arms to this project. And I want to give you the Elder Wisdom Children's Song Guidebook, and also the release we did with Smithsonian Folkways of this work in Alabama, and also on the Lakota Ray First Nation reservation. So this is for the school. Thank you. And I want to give special thanks to the St. Louis Park School District. And one of the people working nonstop on this project was Julia McBride Bibby. I'd like to have you come up. And I want you to receive these flowers on behalf of the St. Louis Park School District. Everything you see here, from the PA system, the communications daily, is by this beloved woman. And ain't she special? And Mr. Patrick Duffy over here, Miss Frida Bailey. I grew up only 10 blocks from here. I graduated from the class of 1969 at St. Louis Park. I left here in 69 and never came back. And now I'm back because the work that I did my whole life is Elder Wisdom Children's Song, and it's a full circle. Only a short distance from here by Lenox is the home I grew up in, where my father passed away, where my mother raised us with the help of government assistance. And out of that came this value of the importance that everybody gets honored. Everybody gets honored. And the face of all children is honored through the wisdom of their elders. It is such a blessing to be here with you. And I have to give real special thanks to Renee Robinson. I was able to honor her father, Tuskegee Airman. And this is for you on behalf of the whole team. Thank you. And here's some CDs. So God bless. Thank you very much.